Welcome once again to the Institute's 100th Annual General Meeting. Miigwech Myrna for opening it up for us. What an amazing milestone to celebrate. I couldn't be more proud to be part of this amazing celebration. I also couldn't be more proud of what we've accomplished since our last AGM. We're coming off a big year of wins. We won new collective agreements for the majority of our members. We won historic paid leave for survivors and victims of domestic violence. We won increases in parental leave. We won new contract in our language, recognizing the right to work in a workplace free from harassment. We won increases in our members' pay. We won $400 of compensation for late implementation of these agreements, and that was just at the bargaining table. Nous avons aussi négocié la création de centres de coordination des services infirmiers pour les professionnels de soins infirmiers travaillant en région éloignée. Nos infirmiers et infirmières doivent bénéficier de
from the support of difficult work. We are fighting hard against the regressive employers like the provincial governments of Manitoba, Ontario, and New Brunswick, and an American private sector employer. We won a settlement on Phoenix, giving every member paid by that broken system an extra week of paid vacation. We won the commitment to a new claims process that will repay our members for every cent of financial impact from Phoenix. We won the government's commitment to replacing Phoenix with a pay system that works. We also won $117 million to achieve that goal. We proposed the creation of a steering committee overseeing the building of a new pay system and a now co-chair for that committee.
We made all of this progress in just 1 year because of who we are as a union. Professional, hardworking, credible, collaborative, and progressive. We did it because we stick together, because we know that we are better together. Each and every one of you and many other members across the country worked so hard to secure these gains. On behalf of all members, I can't thank you enough for a job well done. Let's give ourselves a round of applause for another successful year. Congratulations. And I want to make one thing clear. For those of you who are working hard at the negotiation table now, we are with you. The expertise, experience, and the force of our entire union are with you each step of the way. And we will not stop until every group has secured a fair deal for our members. For you, Robert. You know, PIPS is a community. We're a community of professionals who take collective action to improve the lives of our members, and our members notice when we do well. This year's membership survey echoes the wins we've scored as a union. 81% of our members report that they are satisfied with the work of our union. The number of very satisfied members has doubled since 2016, despite Phoenix. Members' approval of the union's leadership views has gone from 62% to 78% in just 3 years. Members are saying that our views represent them, and that's good. Members' impressions of PIPS are incredibly positive, with a strong consensus that PIPS is a fair, approachable, protects members' interests, and is an effective and helps people. Of course, there are many areas for improvement, especially when it comes to engaging our newer and younger members. But I think it's important as leaders of this union to take a moment to celebrate where we are and be proud of the assessment that members have given us in this year's survey. Let's take a quick look at some other highlights from the last year. There's no sound. Fair for public servants that are also fair for Canadians. À la table centrale, nous avons réalisé.
We've realized some gains in our new collective agreement, and for the first time, we've got in hand a wording that consecrates a workplace free of harassment and bullying.
System disaster, and still our members are not seeing resolution to their pay problems. Today we're saying to the government, let's see some commitments that will give our members some hope. The Phoenix pay system is unfixable. The government has acknowledged that it must be replaced and that unions like ours must be consulted on the choice of a replacement.
And this is what we are asking for the new system that will replace Phoenix, that public servant be part of the solution.
Who have negotiated the creation of one of the greatest improvements to member benefits. The Task Force on Professionals Canada, who spent months studying the proposals before our AGM, and I look forward to the presentation of their report later today. It's always hard to come up with a short list of individuals to thank, but let me take a minute to point out a few that stand out this year. A big thank you to Greg Scriver for representing PIPS on Indigenous issues and working with the CLC to organize the first ever Indigenous Lobby Day. And to Eva Henshaw and Robert Tellier for diligently moving the Contracting Out Action Plan forward. And of course to all our stewards and representatives who do fantastic work day in and day out. And of course our nearly 200 staff members from across the country led by our COO Eddie Gillis. And we're not alone in this work. We have allies everywhere, and I'd like to specifically thank a few of them. Jean-Marc Noel, who is the National Joint Council co-chair and president of the Canadian Military Colleges Faculty Association, for his leadership and commitment. Ursula Hendel, who is the president of the Association of the Justice Council, who has done more than her fair share to help bring the Phoenix settlement to fruition. And Hassan Youssef, Canadian Labour Congress President, who you'll be hearing from later this morning, for his political interventions at timely and critical points. His involvement helped enable the Phoenix Damages Agreement and helped to ensure that we had the next-gen pay system funding in place. And I'd like to recognize our Labour family. We have AMAPCO, Unifor Local 3011, PIREC, and ACFO President Danny Richard here with us today. So thank you for being here, and thank you for all the hard work you do on behalf of your members and all workers. Together, we are part of a powerful labour movement. Part of our responsibility as unionists is to ensure that there is a place at the table for everyone. As part of this ongoing work, our board is unanimously extending our internal childcare policy to include branch and subgroup AGMs and executive meetings. We want parents of young children at those tables. Mes amis, let's keep breaking down barriers. Mes amis, nous sommes à l'avant.
We are at the forefront of progress, and it is by the realization that we will continue to progress. Our members expect to see us work hard on the first lines to give them satisfaction, and this is exactly what we're continuing to do. I would like to tell you that I communicated with the Prime Minister Trudeau after the elections of last month. I wrote to him to congratulate him of his elections and tell him very clearly that we are ready to continue to collaborate with him to get results. During the campaign, we repeated that we needed a government to protect the public services, and we contributed to have a government elect that will protect the public services. The Canadians turned their back on austerity, so if this is what this government wants to impose us, watch out. The level of participation was elevated in the regions of the National Capital Region where half of our members live. They voted for a government that will invest in the public services, and this is exactly what we're going to do with this government.
We are laser focused on next-gen human resources and pay system. After months of calling for investment, the federal government recently met our demands for upfront funding for next-gen. They committed $117 million to develop and design the new pay system. This is an important win for our members, for all public servants. The government has narrowed down the options for 3 possible vendors for the new system. We will see pilots for them in this coming year. The consultation process has been productive, and we will continue to push for the implementation of a new pay system as quickly as humanly possible. Many of our members are still dealing with pay errors, and that is totally unacceptable. We signed a compensation agreement with the Treasury Board. This will provide a claims process for any member who experiences hardship because of Phoenix, and we'll make sure that you get every penny that you are owed. Phoenix is the clearest example of the disastrous consequences of outsourcing. Outsourcing is a scourge on the health of our public services, and it's a scourge on the professionals who provide them and the citizens who rely on them. Through our government relations, our election strategy, our grievance campaign, language in our agreements, and in my letter to the Prime Minister, we have made it clear that we expect outsourcing to be reduced to 2005-06 levels. Here's the stark reality. Despite some encouraging signs, the actual amount of money spent on outsourcing has increased. Même si le gouvernement
government has undertaken to have the expenses and the levels in outsourcing at the level of 2005, they increased nonetheless throughout his mandate.
Outsourcing professional services to the private sector has increased from $6.4 billion in 2005 to $9.9 billion in 2017. The largest categories of outsourced professional service were engineering and architectural services, business services, health and welfare services, and informatics services, areas impacting many of our members and their jobs. Now, I believe we've made progress in making our case against outsourcing to Canadians and their MPs, and Phoenix has helped us make that point. But we obviously cannot leave it to politicians and managers to figure out how to kick their dependence on outsourcing.
Our fight against outsourcing by tackling some of the root causes of it, particularly staffing in the public service. We will expand our fight against outsourcing by advocating for the tracking of time it takes to staff positions, reviewing the new direction on staffing, expanding the pilots designed to expedite staffing, and giving our members new opportunities. Each one of us has a stake in this fight against outsourcing. This fight is about fairness. It's about protecting public services from cuts and privatization. And it's about protecting our members' careers. And that's why it remains a priority for our union. We live in uncertain times where politics, technology, and the changing nature of work can pose significant, if not existential, threats against our union. Being forward-looking has ensured our success in the first century of PIPS, and we must take the same approach as we enter the second century. To that end, we are leading a project with sister unions studying the impact of artificial intelligence on the professions that we represent. We've started with analyzing where AI is going, where it's going to be introduced, and how it will impact our jobs. We're strategizing our approach towards government relations and collective bargaining to protect our members' jobs and ensure their continued success in a world of changing technology. Nous suivons également de très près les débats politiques sur les pensions. Comme vous le savez, le gouvernement libéral a déjà présenté le projet de loi C-27, qui permettrait à l'employeur de réduire la qualité de votre régime de pension.
Quality of the pension plan. We've worked as a union affiliated to the CLC to put an end to this bill and to protect pensions. We remain vigilant, and we commit ourselves to protect your pensions.
Sorry, and that's what our members demand. In our membership survey, we put 12 workplace issues in front of members. The most important priority for members was their pensions. Regardless of their age, gender, profession, region, or classification, PIPS members put pension protection at the top of their list as their highest priority. Pensions are your deferred wages and your right. Public service pensions provide you with security and set the standard for the private sector, in turn providing security for many workers. In New Brunswick, we continue the fight against the government's unfair and unilateral conversion of the province's provincial public service pension plan into a shared risk plan. While we continue that fight in the courts, we are also exploring opportunities for negotiating supplementary benefits to address some of the worst aspects of the current pension plan. Our work to protect your pensions remains a top priority. We are launching a new campaign on pensions to inform members of what their pension benefits are and how together we will protect those benefits. Nous poursuivons aussi notre travail sur l'équité.
We're also continuing our work on pay equity. We know that traditional jobs are not as well paid as these traditionally male jobs. This is one of the issues dealing with salary or pay equity. We're now dealing with the staffing, comparing the positions and fighting against inequities, salary inequities based on gender. We're hoping to repair this, and we will not stop until this problem is dealt with.
The rollout of the New Deal will begin shortly. We've got materials and training coming your way to make sure stewards have all the information that they need to be experts on our new contracts. You'll have the tools to facilitate conversations with other members and to make sure everyone understands what we've won and can be confident that they are getting what they deserve. We knew from experience that your employer would not meet the timelines for retro pay, so we negotiated $400 compensation for you right off the top and additional compensation if future deadlines are missed. While this work is underway, some groups continue their work to get a fair deal or to get the employer to the table. Our CFIA groups, NAV Canada, RT Group in Ontario, Mage Group in Manitoba, the Yukon Hospital Corporation Group in the Yukon, and most groups with the province of New Brunswick are all in the negotiations process. We are with you. Our CS group is continuing to fight for their new collective agreement. We have a strong team and they've developed an excellent plan with the support of our strike committee. I want to take a moment to say something to those who are still negotiating. On behalf of all PIPS members, we are with you. We are with you every step of the way, all 60,000 of us. We are better together and we won't stop until you all get a deal. Thank you. In early 2020, the Employee Wellness Support Program will be front and center. we have the opportunity to secure a generous wellness program for our membership. I want our members to have access to a plan for sick leave that responds to the reality of their lives. Before I was your president, I had a colleague in the public service who became ill with cancer. Some of you even know her. Of course, it was a very hard experience for her. With 9 weeks of sick leave in her bank, she didn't have enough sick leave to cover her recovery from surgery to remove the kidney. And then she'd have no sick leave left for radiation therapy that followed. She had to borrow the maximum sick leave available and then went without pay while she tried to recover from cancer. Imagine if the cancer had returned. I don't know what she would have done. As it was, she was forced to retire early to try to fully recover. Can you imagine? I don't want this for us. I don't want it for you. It's just not good enough, and I won't stand for it. Je veux que vous ayez les congés de maladie.
I want you to have the sick leave that you need, when you need them. This is what I want for each and every one of you. And frankly, it's also what I want for all workers. So in December 2016, we started negotiating with Treasury Board. In the upcoming months, you will be many to vote to ratify the new support and wellness program that we've negotiated. It's a good agreement for us.
We proposed it, we negotiated for it, and we got a tentative agreement on it. This wellness program will be managed and implemented by the public service. There will be no low-quality outsourcing on our watch. This new program will ensure that leave and full compensation is available for members when they need it. Members who experience more than one major illness or injury during their career will be provided for in this plan. Members who experience chronic or episodic illness will be provided for in this plan. All members will be provided for in this plan. As promised, we are bringing you a deal that will help 100% of our members. When this deal is ratified, everyone under the Employee Wellness Support Program will immediately have access to 26 weeks of paid leave at 100% income replacement. I'm sure we have members amongst us right now worrying, and I want you to have certainty. We see you and we're going to take care of you. Before I close, I want to make sure you all know that you'll have an opportunity to ask me questions after the break at 11 a.m. Delegates, our union is standing up for our members. This is the strength of being one big union. We are members from across the country and from across employers, and when we pull together, we are simply unstoppable. We have pulled together at the bargaining table to get through Phoenix, to fight against right-wing attacks on the public sector, and to protect each other every day in the workplace. This year, I'll be focused on ending outsourcing and tackling public service staffing. I'm also proud of our new pension campaign. Et comme à l'Institut, nous continuons.
And at the Institute, we continue to work as a large family. We take up challenges for the upcoming year.
Every cent owed from Phoenix. We will work hard to ratify the new Employee Wellness Support Program, and we'll work hard to fight outsourcing and protect our pensions. We are PIPS. We have 100 years of progress to stand on, and we're going into our next century stronger than ever. Let's get to work. Thank you.